All right, Agency Elephant users, welcome. I'm going to show you how to zap something over to Agency Elephant using our integrations tab. The first thing you're going to need to have is a Zapier account. You're going to need to have a Google spreadsheet set up. So I'm going to go ahead and name this Google spreadsheet. I'm going to name this Zap Test. Great. I'm going to throw in some information in here. You want to make sure that what you're sending to your Google Sheet is acceptable for Agency Elephant. So first name, last name, mobile, and email. Right? This is what we want to send over to Agency Elephant. This is the only thing we care about: first name, last name, mobile, email. You can also put date fields, birthdays, address, stuff like that if you want. But for this purpose, we're just going to use our basic info to send stuff over. So you're going to need a Zapier account. You're going to need to create a Zap. I'm going to name this AE Test Zap, so I know what it is and can delete it later. And then you're going to need to go to your Agency Elephant account. Okay, so in your Agency Elephant account, you're going to go to the settings page. You're going to go over to the integrations button, and we're going to make sure Zapier shows connected. We're going to hit manage campaign. Okay, so from here, we're going to add a new Zap. Okay, this Zap title is going to be test AE integration. Okay, you can pick a deal status. When these people zap over, you can put them to a status. The status section below needs to show enabled. You want to pick your API. This is going to be Google Sheets, right? So you can look down at what all the different things are. We're going to use Google Docs or Sheets, and we're going to pick our group. What group are these people going to be zapping into? So in this case, I'm going to put into opted in for entry so that I can show you that it works, Lord willing. Then we are going to hit submit. As soon as that is done, you'll notice we have a test AE integration. We have our webhook here, and that is created. Now we're going to come over to our Zap, and we're going to use Google Sheets. We're going to say when a new spreadsheet row is created, we want to zap that information over. We're going to connect to our account. This one, I believe, is under this account, I believe. So let's double check. We're going to pick our spreadsheet. We're going to choose the Zap test one. You'll pick your spreadsheet specifically. The worksheet, we only have one, so it's sheet one. We didn't change the name or anything, but if you did change the name, it'd pull up there. We hit our test trigger. It shows nothing's there. So I'm going to come in here and copy this, paste it here, and I'm going to test that trigger again. It pulled the row because I added that info before I started the Zap. So now it pulls all the information here. We're going to hit continue. Now over in this section, we are going to use the webhook feature. Okay. We are going to post this because we're posting it out to Agency Elephant. As soon as we hit post, we're going to say, okay, what's the URL? What's the webhook that we created over in Agency Elephant? Well, here's our webhook. We are going to copy that webhook. We are going to paste it here. Okay. Now we're going to use the form payload and the data we're sending over. This is very important. Okay. So this is our mapping. How is this going to map to Agency Elephant? Underscores. You need underscores in order to send info to Agency Elephant. If you just simply put first name, it will not map it correctly. You need underscores. We are dealing with coding, okay? So under the first name column, what's our first name? Well, the first name is Matthew, right? Now we're going to add a couple more fields here so we can do it quickly. And our next field, what is this? Well, this is last name, right? And we're going to pick last name. This section, we're going to hit mobile. Don't have a space in there, so we don't need an underscore. You cannot use spaces here, okay? Email, what's our email? It's here. As soon as that's done, we are not going to send a file or anything else over. We're going to hit continue. We are going to hit test and review. It says it was sent, so let's come to our Agency Elephant account. Let's give it a second to populate over here. And we're going to come into Matthew Hahn over here. And we are going to check the group. Did it get put into the correct group? Now we're looking at this and we're saying, hey, I don't see it's in the correct group. I don't see anything triggered on January 31st, okay? So let's come back over here. Let's make sure I click the right one. It looks like it sent over 2 first names. It says opted in for entries. So then we come back to our Zap and we say, why did it send 2 first last names? Well, let's check our info over here. Oh, looks like we accidentally had 2 first names there, right? So let's go ahead and test this action again. We're going to retest it. It's going to fire off over. I'm going to refresh this page. And I'm going to see, oh, look, lead's name was changed. We're good. We're opted in for entries. That is how you integrate with Agency Elephant. Okay. Now on your Zapier, you can have multiple things happening on the Zap before you get to a spreadsheet, but your spreadsheet or your Zap always, not your spreadsheet, your Zap always has to end in a post. And that webhook is what you use. And the webhook you create is over in the settings section. Feel free to pause this video, rewind it, go back and take a look at it. But that webhook you create is over in integrations under the manage Zapier section. Go back, rewind it, watch how I created this webhook. It's very straightforward, very simple, but I always use Google Spreadsheets for all this. One, because it's clean. I can track all that info, make sure it's sending correctly, make sure all the data is being pushed correctly. I can find out where my errors are, if there are errors, because with Zapier, you've got to know what you're doing. And this is a great way to know how the information is processing through. Okay, so I really like using spreadsheets, Google Sheets to do that. Hope that helps.